Here we go, family. A very dangerous tether nurse. Now, I don't know if this woman was from Africa or the Caribbean, but one thing's for sure, two things for certain. She for damn sure had a hatred for foundational Black American society. And this woman says she hate us, with her whole chest, and you could feel the conviction and, the feeling, oozing out of this woman's pores, right through the screen. This woman, really hates foundational Black American society. And I believe that, and if you don't like us, and got hatred towards us, we don't like you and we got hatred towards you. But my thing on it is, if you got all this hate and vitriol for foundational Black American society as a whole, why don't y'all keep your narrow behinds in your homeland? Why are y'all flocking up over here to America, the land FBAs built? Truth be told, our ancestors, paved the way through fighting, injustice and oppression for y'all to even have a lane to flee to. So what you should, be having is, gratitude and be paying homage and respect to the foundational Black Americans. Y'all people should worship the ground foundational Black Americans walk on. But now what y'all come over here with is hate and vitriol and disdain because y'all see foundational Black Americans shining and doing our thing, and we never had to leave our homeland to do so. Because y'all had to leave your homeland, because of injustice and oppression, the white supremacist system that, the world is under. Because, like I said before, in a system of racism, white supremacy, either you're going to do one or two things. You're going to stand up and fight or flee. And these people chose the cowardice fleeing route. And then when they look at us, foundational Black American society, they got contempt, hatred, and vitriol because they see foundational Black American society as everything they wish they could be, but they just ain't got the testicular fortitude to stand on business and do what we have done. So they, turn, that into hatred for us, So they could miss me with that because these people come over here with so much hatred and vitriol towards our people and turn a blind eye to mistreatment, misuse, and abuse from the dominant white society. To these tethers, white supremacist society could do no wrong. They look for white inclusion, and they try to call us out as a way, of taking the easy way out instead of, addressing the hard stuff, which is going at the system of racism, white supremacy, and injustice. And like I said, here's the kicker right here, family. This woman is a nurse. She probably had foundational Black American brothers and sisters under her care, and I don't trust this woman being no nurse because she could hurt our people. And this is why delineation is important too. So you people that want to say it's wrong, this, that, and the third, and we dividing black people. Black people been divided, unfortunately. What we doing now is upholding the lineage. We looking at people's lineages because we can't have these kind of people come up over here. They'll sell us up Shit's Creek without a paddle. Because these people come over here, with hate and vitriol towards our people. And I don't rock with that, because these kinds of people are very dangerous. Like I said, this woman is a nurse. She's 59 years old, and which means she's 59 years old. She ain't going to change. She had this mindset, for her whole life, and she's set in her ways, you know what I mean? But let's just hope this woman hasn't harmed any foundational Black American brothers and sisters, that was up under her care, because she for sure as hell ain't got no business, being no nurse under the care of anyone, let alone the foundational Black American. So I got the audio and the video of this, nasty tether, tethering, and we're going to walk through and talk about it how we normally do, family. Fair use.
I hate them. I hate them. End of story.
So before this,
And family, you could feel when she's saying she hates us, foundational Black Americans. She's saying it with her whole chest, and there's so much conviction and feeling, in her saying that. I feel it coming out of her aura as coming through the screen. But let's continue.
any come together, there's a lot of hatred, disdain, and jealousy that needs to be removed. A lot of dead weeds. This is a 59-year-old nurse that's about to say what they're about to say.
Africans and African Americans, we've never gotten along. Not today, not yesterday, not 20 years ago, not 100 years. We've never gotten along. We don't get along. All I'm saying is that stay in your lane and I stay in my own lane. Don't have any.
And here's the funny thing. She's saying stay in our lane and she'll stay in her lane. That's cool. If y'all hate us, we hate y'all. We don't rock with y'all. But here's the thing. Y'all coming over here to America, our homeland, and telling us, dictating how it's going to go down. And that's not going to work. If you don't like foundational Black Americans, stay your narrow behind in your homeland. But one thing you're not going to do is come over here to the United States of America and dictate how things are going to move and operate. But let's continue.
Any interest or desire to have that kind of relationship that I know will never be. There is no need for me to pretend to like you, You don't like me, and I with my full chest.
Here's the thing: we as foundational Black Americans, we don't hate people based off of where they're geographically from, unlike some of these tethers, long as people ain't tethers, we don't care if they from Africa, the Caribbean, so on and so forth. We don't care where people are from. We just ain't gonna sit up here and let people cosplay as us and undermine us, and tether on to our lineage and get in positions of power and sell our people up shit's creek without a paddle. Them days are over, so we calling that out all day every day. But we don't like people, we don't say that we hate people just based off of where they from, unlike some of these tethers. But let's continue.
I don't like you either. So this one that we're supposed to come together, don't ask me to come and join you to march down the street for whatever cause it is you're marching. I'm not coming to march anywhere with you. So
You hear what she's saying? They don't want to get on cold with us, and that's cool. We don't want y'all to get on cold with us because we looking at people's lineages now. This is why we ain't riding for all of the mass deportation thing that's going on. How people are like looking for the foundational Black Americans. That's y'all fight. You know what I mean? Even the melanated immigrants. Y'all got to fight your own battle. We as foundational Black Americans not getting out here advocating for other people's groups. Them days is gone. We've done that, and people act like we were entitled to be out there speaking truth to power for them. They took our being allies with them for granted, and them days is over. We looking out for people based off of lineage first and foremost, because when we know people's lineage, it lets us know the mindset of some of these people, because some of these people like this tether nurse right here on the screen that come amongst our people and sell us up shit's creek without a paddle. But let's continue.
so all I'm saying is that why are we here asking each other to get along, thinking that we think African sisters were better than, I think I'm better than African American. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have any African American friend.
You for sure as hell ain't better than no foundational Black American because you had to flee. If you so much better, why didn't you do the pulling yourself up and becoming a nurse in your homeland? You had to come over here to America, and you did that off of our ancestors' hard work and toil. But let's continue.
I don't need to be friends with any African American. There's nothing friendship with them that I find interesting through in university. I don't have any ounce of
And she keep talking like we want to go out of our way to associate with these people. You know what I mean? If people don't want to rock with foundational Black American society, that's cool. We ain't looking for friends. We need no allies. Foundational Black Americans, we're a lot of us are waking up in masses, getting on code with the lineage, and we realize one thing, one significant thing: foundational Black Americans are all we got and all we ever needed. But let's continue.
interest in developing any type of relationship with any of my
sounds
African
like you went through some really traumatic
I don't have
experience, man.
any interest. Zero. If I see you coming
There's
down
some
the
type of
road,
trauma. Yeah.
I turn around and go the other way. I don't have any interest whatsoever to have a relationship with you. I hate them.
Yeah, but one thing for sure, two things for certain, we can't have this woman be in no nurse family, because she got a negative disposition towards foundational Black American society, and I believe that she'll hurt a foundational Black American brother or sister. So, we need to find out her place of employment because she ain't got no business being no nurse. And in closing, if you don't like foundational Black Americans, that's cool. We ain't rocking with y'all, nor do we like we don't like no we don't like people that don't like us. Just put it like that. So if y'all ain't rocking with us, we ain't rocking with y'all. But what y'all not going to do is come over here and dictate how things is going to move and flow in America. And if you don't like foundational Black Americans, stay y'all narrow musty behinds in y'all homeland. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.